A nurse recently commented on one of my videos. No tech company actually understands what nurses need. And honestly, I think that frustration is quite real because many nurses feel like healthcare technology is being built around administrators instead of bedside workflow. Now, I want to be very clear. I do not think that AI magically fixes technology and surrounding your charting. But I do think there's an important conversation happening right now about documentation burden, the workflow exhaustion, the cognitive overload, and the future of nursing documentation. Because right now, a lot of nurses are really overwhelmed, and I'm one of them. Why nurses are frustrated, I believe, it's because many systems were clearly not designed by people doing the actual work. Nurses, deal with interruptions, fragmented workflows, endless clicking, repetitive charting, multiple screens, admissions, medications, family dynamics, wound care, teaching, complications with a number of different things, and thinking about the compliance requirements and constant task switching. And then someone introduces another technology tool, and clearly you wonder, man, is this really going to save time? So I completely understand the skepticism. But the real problem isn't just the AI. I think that many nurses are actually angry about AI itself. They're frustrated with poor workflow designs, chronic understanding, disconnected administration and documentation systems that really increase the mental exhaustion, and AI simply becomes the tool or the symbol for all of it. Well, voice AI makes terrible notes is a big thought. It's concerns that we have. And honestly, we're all seen terrible voice AI text notes before. Medications get mangled, medical terminology gets butchered, and random words can be completely out of place. And if nobody proofreads it, documentation quality, well, it really suffers. That concern is legitimate, which is why I do not believe that AI should replace nursing judgment at all. Actually, I think AI actually does quite well, but here's what I think the conversation should become more nuanced. I don't think the real value of AI is push a button and instantly create a perfect documentation. I think the real value may be helping nurses reduce memory burden, the mental reconstruction, repetitive rewriting, and the cognitive overload, especially in home health care, where many nurses finish documentation hours after the actual visit. I believe the most important part, honestly, is that this conversation needs to shift maybe towards the future, that technology is really not going to be replacing nurses. The future is more likely nurses using better workflow systems, structured clinical thinking, and supportive tools more intelligently. Because strong documentation is not created by software alone. It still depends on your clinical judgment, your assessment skills, and critical thinking, and understanding skilled need. So why nurses must be involved with this? Because workflow really does matter. A system that works in one environment may be completely a mess in another. A system that works in the ICU is going to be completely different than a system that's used in home health care. And of course, med surg is different too. And nursing workflow is incredibly complex, which means meaningful bedside input is really absolutely necessary. Well, what about your unique positioning on this? Well, in honesty, the parts of why I started talking about this project, it's not because I think AI is perfect, but because documentation burden is becoming unsustainable for many nurses, especially in home health care. And I think nurses deserve a realistic conversation about what actually helps and what doesn't, and how clinical thinking fits into all of this. But I think that there's a bigger problem. Because at the end of the day, the real issue may not be technology by itself. The real issue is that many nurses are mentally overloaded. Documentation has become fragmented, cognitively exhausting, and disconnected from actual patient care. And until healthcare systems truly understand bedside workflow, frustration is probably just going to continue. Well, what do we do about all this? So, I genuinely like to hear your perspective. What frustrates you the most about nursing documentation right now? Is it the clicking, the repetitive charting, poor health EHR design, interruptions, staffing, after hours charting? Let me know in the comments, because I think nurses need more honest conversation about workflow reality and not just more hype around the technology of AI. See you on the next one.